my friends. Tashina Gonzalez here with Vida Activa, and I'm doing my Feel Good Friday on Saturday. I've been so good. It's been a long time since I did this. And I was going to do it late on Friday. It was going to be like after 10 o'clock, after I had got my food and did all the things. But Facebook was not letting me be great. So I'm here on Saturday to chat with you guys. So as usual, as you hop on, give me a wave, a hi, a hello. Let me know what city, state, or country that you are watching me from. And if you're watching the replay, no matter what venue it is, then hashtag replay on YouTube, Facebook, and or Instagram. So today, as you guys know, I'm all deep into this deep work, deep emotional healing. And so, as I'm going through another layer of trauma healing and recovery for myself, I'm sharing all the things that I'm learning with you. And so, recently, I've been digging into the physical effects. I have a lot of amazing people that I work with, like a trauma specialist, Lusana, and she's always sharing amazing things with us, as well as some online courses, as well as just some documentaries and things that I have watched. And so I've been really focusing on, again, the physical aspects of what trauma and emotional pain and emotional stress can do to the body. And so I found an article that was about psychogenic pain. And the interesting thing is, I knew about this when I was younger, for sure. I had migraines, really bad migraines, from the time I was 11 to 14. And then after that, I generally had them almost like once a month. And when I went to the doctor when I was younger, they were like, I had all these divorce issues. It was a high level of emotional abuse at the time, and it was a lot of repressing of the physical and sexual abuse that I had undergone. And so my doctor had said that my migraines were psychosomatic. They were brought on by emotional stress. And then later I ended up having, in my early 20s, ulcers. And my doctor at the time also stated that part of the issue was, of course, I need to eat better, but the emotional stress that I was under. So this is a thing. And when we're healing from like an extreme chronic thing, or if we're having something like ulcers or migraines, while we get a solution through our doctors and while we add on some natural solutions, we want to make sure that we're also healing ourselves emotionally if we're going to get the most value and heal the fastest. So going back to the article and the information that I'm going to share with you guys today, psychogenic pain. So our bodies often express what our minds cannot handle or feel or even know at times. So again, I repressed a lot of things. So this is called psychogenic pain, when physical pain is linked to emotional stress. So again, what is this? It is pain, and it's a term for pain that's caused by psychological factors like depression and anxiety. And it's very closely linked to those, but it can also just be linked to general stress. And so a lot of times I think my migraines when I was older would just come if I was under too much stress. But people who experience depression and anxiety may report experience psychogenic pain all over their bodies, even when there is no physical cause. And I have experienced that too. Like, I have been so depressed, or like I feel like I can't get out of my bed, and like from head to toe, it's just like some type of tension and stress and pain in my body. So psychogenic pain is harder to treat because if you know the direct result of an injury, then you can, treat that inflammation, treat that damage. So, and there are lots of, herbal remedies and other things that you can do, natural things that you can do to reduce that inflammation, but also to reduce the stress levels and even reprogram some of the neuroscience for that actual trauma and stress. But of course, it's just going to be a little bit more difficult. So, how do emotions actually cause that physical pain? So, trying to address the physical causes for chronic pain is not always sufficient. According to the article that I'm looking at, Sarah Irons, which is a registered clinical counselor, The body-mind relationship can be coined as a condition medical practitioners call mind-body syndrome, or tension myositis syndrome. So there's a doctor, Dr. John Sorno, who founded the movement and has written several books explaining the condition. So the basic idea is that our minds are capable of creating many types of physical symptoms in the body, whether that is back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain. Those are some of my favorite places outside of stomach and migraines. These symptoms are, the mind is a powerful contributor to these aches and pains that we experience. And so some doctors may think like these symptoms are all in our head. Thankfully, my doctor didn't. He told me it's psychosomatic and reduce the stress. So there's a great book on the subject of the mind-body pain, which is Walking the Tiger, Healing Trauma by Peter Levine. And so as children, many of us grew up with parents or caretakers who were unable to process their own and unable to help us process whatever difficult things that were happening to us. So as children, we rely on our parents to help us make sense of what's going on. And when we don't get that support, we do the best we can. We find ways of coping that develop protection mechanism against frightful scenarios or feelings. We internalize by keeping quiet and externalize by acting out. So the act of repressing emotions, pain, sadness, and even sometimes excitement, y'all know how I am. So people like me that are extreme extroverts, gregarious, and a little bit loud, sometimes even had to repress their excitement. And this causes real physical pain instead of processing your anger or hurt feelings. You get a headache. Instead of dealing with the fact that you've taken on too much responsibility, the weight of the world manifests as shoulder pain and feeling weighed down. So there's some really cool graphics that I'll walk through a little bit of it with you, and perhaps put some links to some things as well in the comments. So while certainly not all physical pain is caused by the elements of the mind, it's important to get in tune with your body so you can distinguish between emotionally based issues and physically based ones. If you've been making changes to your diet for years but are still having problems, maybe it's time to look inward. And there is scientific proof for this. So there was a new study published by Psychology Today that explored how emotional trauma can be just as responsible for chronic pain as it is physical injury. So, and then a Dr. Susan Babel stated, chronic pain is defined as prolonged physical pain that lasts for longer than natural healing process should allow. This pain might stem from injuries, inflammation, or neuralgias or neuropathies, disorders of the nerves, but some people suffer in the absence of any of these conditions. Chronic pain can debilitate one's ability to move with ease, may hinder their normal functioning, and the search for relief can lead to pain medication addictions which compound the problem. Chronic pain is often accompanied by feelings of hopelessness, depression, and anxiety. So physical pain functions to warn a person that there is still emotional work to be done, and it can also be a sign of unresolved trauma in the nervous system. So, and these are things that have been taught in ancient Chinese medicine and Ayurveda for centuries. And again, I was taught it, I knew it, and I had not been plugging into this information for a long time. So I very frequently will have neck pain or shoulder pain, and occasionally a few other things. And so again, there's some amazing charts here that tell you what you want to look for and what emotional things might be actually happening in your body when this happens. So if you're feeling some type of pain in the throat center, this could be self-expression issues such as a lack of trust, inability to speak feelings, or lack of nurturing. If you're feeling it in the shoulders, like I frequently do, this is carrying a heavy load, weight of the world on your shoulders. If you're feeling it in your heart center, this could be grief, sorrow, sadness, loss. And we know these things, right? Broken heart, right? Like that's the language, is because we actually, those emotions, we feel them that way. Weight of the world on our shoulders, like that gives that we have this knowledge, right? So this is emptiness of heart or lack of love, helplessness, aloneness, disillusionment, embarrassment, shame, humiliation, repressed feelings, disappointment, genetic or ancient memory, cruelty or meanness. And then here is where we have our fear center. So fears and phobias, so the top of your stomach, loss of control, fear of losing control, giving our power to another person, relationships. So then trying to think, I'm looking at this. So I think that here would be our anger center. Here would be our anger center. So anger and rage, anger at others, anger at self. Jealousy and resentment would reside here. And then on the other side is where guilt, shame, unworthiness center. So unacceptance, self-judgment, self-criticism, not deserving of the good the life has for us, inability to accept and receive. And then right towards more the middle and the bottom of the stomach is going to be our old stuff center. So that's so interesting because how many times do you feel like sick in your stomach or stomach ache over something else with someone else or a situation? Well, this is actually, this can be linked to family sexual issues, childhood conditioning, violation of body or personal space, something done to us, something taken from us without our permission, molestation, abuse, rape, impotence, and frigidity. And so the reality is if we're feeling like a pit in our stomach with another person, that means that they're triggering one of our childhood wounds or childhood traumas, and that's something that we definitely need to deep dive. And then lower than that is our survival center. So feeling we won't survive a threatening incident, violations related to surviving accidents, abuse, violence, rape, impotence, frigidity, first year of life, and basic creativity. And then on next to that, on the lower side, abdomen is our rejection center on my right hand side. Criticism, judgment by others, self-rejection, abandonment, pain in the heart. And then the other side is the betrayal center. So betrayal by someone we trusted or self-betrayal. And then there was another chart, and it also had something about the neck, and that was the inability to move forward, to change directions, being stiff-necked. And then they did have one that had information about elbows and arms and knees and legs, but unfortunately it didn't look like I copied into my information those charts. So you can definitely Google psychogenic pain and the charts and studying them. I'm going to continue to study them so I can remember, because this is something, as you guys know, I'm working on emotional regulation. And so now I know my body knows exactly what my emotions are, even though I was conditioned not to process them and it takes a long time for me to get there. My body knows what they are. My body knows what it's feeling. My body knows what it's reacting to. And so if I could take this information as a shortcut, I can remember, oh man, I'm feeling something like right up here in my throat. This is like I need to express something and I'm feeling like I can't. I frequently neck and shoulders at the same time happens to me all the time. Gut punch, so I'm super excited about this information. I hope you guys are as excited as I am about this information. And if you know anyone that needs it, then please share. So as usual, we always have and I knew this too, some other, just things that we can do to the best thing to do is to sit with your emotions and to process them and to work through them. And then once you've processed and you understand what that feels like, then to do any type of self-soothing techniques. You guys know I'm into all types of alternative techniques for soothing and calming yourself, like touch therapy, music therapy, aromatherapy, etc. And if you don't know anything about that, then you can always hit me up for some information. But if there's a time that I have to actually function, I love our nice little CBD oil. When I'm feeling that emotional pain in all of my body, or some extreme neck pain or something like that, and I need to still go perform, this CBD will do everything for me to be a nice muscle rub and relax everything. And then we just have so many emotional oils that you can deep dive into and see which ones will help you and which ones will give you the emotional lift that you need. One of the things that we were talking about this week was the Great Day Protocol. If you don't know what that is, you can hit me up for that information. But one of my most favorite for just uplifting your mood when you're just down, down, down is joy. That is one of my absolute favorites. So essential oils is the best way, the shortest way to affect your emotions very quickly, because it goes to the limbic system, which is the center of your emotions. So that is what I actually want to share with you guys today. Again, don't forget, say hi, hello, let me know what city, state, or country you are watching me from. And if you know anyone who is suffering from chronic pain or something like migraines, and they've been told that there's no cause for it, they can't figure it out, make sure you please tag them or share this video with them so they can have this information. And again, I'm so excited for me to be more dialed in, and I will continue to share things as I learn them on my trauma healing recovery journey with you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me as usual, and have an amazing day. Bye, guys.